Hi and welcome to the War Bunker. Now, this has to be probably one of the most controversial games I think I've ever heard of. It's Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, we don't really play Warhammer. We play Warhammer 40,000. But this box set and indeed most of the rules caught our eyes, and this is, you could call it an unboxing, but this is really half an unboxing. So what happened to me is I was looking at the Sigmarites, the order figures in my local games workshop, and going, well, the box set is more expensive than the last box set, but looking at the Sigmarite figures, going, oh, these look so good. I really kind of want them. I want to build them. I think I might even use them for my Space Marine army as kind of assault terminators. But 250? So how much? 250 New Zealand dollars. So I was going like, well, how much will just be some of these guys be? And well, that was $100 for just 5, and you get about 10 in this box. So I went, I suppose I see the value of the box, and then along came a friend of mine who collects Chaos and went, actually, he said, actually, I've gone halves on a box before. I'm quite keen on going halves on a box with you if you're interested. So I paid slightly more than half, and I get all the Sigmarites, and he's quite happily gone away with all the Chaos bits. So this is the box minus the Chaos bits. So I'm afraid, if you're want to know what the Chaos bits are, I'm probably the wrong. This is probably the wrong video, but of course it's interesting. Of course, this is the element of Games Workshop, and even though I'm probably in my 40s, and so is my friend, sharing a box, going halves on a box, is a fantastic way to get started in the hobby. You both walk away with the parts for one army, and you can go away. So these are the fantastic kind of archangels that you get. In fact, there's a little, because we went through this to make sure we were getting the right things. There's a list on the back what you get for the Forces of Order, the Stormcasts. This guy, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to building him. We're talking about using him as a chaplain on a equivalent of a chaplain on a motorbike. Yeah, the rules seem good enough rules to play that figure in Warhammer 40,000. You've got these flying archangel troops, and then you've got these guys, which are the ones I'm the most interested in to use as basically Terminators. And actually having seen these against assault Terminators, they stand head and shoulders above the Terminators. And then you've got all your Orc figures. And again, there's some interesting things here, but I don't really collect Orcs. That guy, though, looks fantastic. But, I don't really collect Chaos at all. It's not really my thing, and as I've quite famously said, they're so full of spiky bits you're forever being stabbed. I mean, I do worry slightly that the golden auras that you get on some of these guys, I'm going to end up stabbing myself. So bear with me for 1 second as I rip the package off here. And we're back. So, yeah. You have a booklet on the Stormcast and the Warbands of Khorne, giving you the assembly instructions, which will be quite useful. I mean, most of it, I can imagine, will be pretty obvious. Although I'm told, yes, that this wee beastie, and this is a beast, and it's not a chaos thing. It's on the Forces of Order. It is a magnificent steed that almost looks part demon, but it's on the side of the good guys. And to charge into battle. I just can't wait for it. This is going to be I'm saying this is probably what I'm going to want to charge in to do. But I know a couple of friends have said, no, leave it to last because it's the most fun. What have we got here? We've got probably this is an obligatory high level introduction to the game, which is always good. then a booklet. Well, this is nice actually, because I prefer this, a full-size book, to... Yeah, that's looking good. I'm going to enjoy reading that, even though I'm not a Warhammer player. Now I prefer this kind of full-size booklet to what we got in the last Warhammer 40,000 box set we got. So the slightly smaller ones, which are still handy, but that's actually quite nice. That'll if I want to consider getting into Warhammer, I've certainly going to have the figures now. That'll be nice. Now let's take a look at some of the other box contents. Now, so far, it's probably actually a testament to the kind of army that you get. There's no templates in here, and I don't obviously know if there are any templates for the new Warhammer. You get 2 measuring sticks, which we always find quite useful. How bendy are they? Oh, pretty bendy. We like bendy. I'm actually quite, because typically I can't find, but yeah, these are really useful for gaming. But you can't buy replacements. We've snapped a couple, but they are so useful. But you know, the main reason I got this was for the models. Hang on, let's try to get what's the light going to be best for this. Some real nice detailing on there. Spiky bits, which I'm not too keen on. I like my models to be able to bounce without kind of snapping. Which makes me slightly in fear of the Archangel models, which are beautiful but fragile. I'm not sure I like fragile. Yeah, that's the best way to view them, isn't it? Love the shields, which will look perfect. Flying guys with big hammers and shields. Games Workshop, go home, you're drunk. Let's focus on that. Nice little, and he'll make like a good captain or sergeant or something. I quite like as well. They've got this kind of odd. See if I can find one. That's probably that well. Probably do. There it is. Like a weird face. That's almost like it actually looks like the Vision from the Avengers. But it makes some kind of, whilst they're supposed to be the good guys, gives them a kind of creepiness, which I actually like. They're good guys, but they're a bit creepy as well. Which will to me works perfectly, because it'll make these guys look a little bit more robotic, and of course I want them to look a little bit more robotic, because I want these to mock up where's the helmet there? Come on. There it is. Getting a focus on this is so tricky. Like I say, once these are finished and assembled, I'll try and do a showcase on them a bit more. Showing them next to some of my actual Marines. But I'm quite tempted to use this. I really am actually keen on giving Warhammer a bit of a try. I have got some like dwarf sharpshooters and stuff. So I've got the basics of a Warhammer army. Cameron was interested in Warhammer originally, and I did get some dwarves, but it was just the sheer level of dwarves that I would need to collect to be able to have a playable army would just put me off. The new idea of having a skirmish and kind of less models, I obviously have, if you've watched our videos, you know that I've got a quite sizable Orc army, and it's got a quite sizable, these guys, Space Dwarf army, quite sizable Space Marine army. But the problem is, with having sizable armies, is it really puts you off getting into a new game because you go, well, I've got to kind of paint up at least 30 models, probably more like 50, before I even have a basic unit, a basic army to take somewhere. A friend of mine's into something called Malifaux, and that sounds really interesting because he says, oh, if you've got 20 models, you've got all you need. And I'm like, well, it takes me 20, but I can paint 20 models in a weekend. You mean I could start and finish an army in a weekend? And that's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Right at the top of there, if the zoom will do it, I am still working through my Dark Elder army, yeah, that we bought a while ago. And I have probably about 30 models left to go through, yeah. It's about a 90 model army, you know, and I've got to the point where, yeah, I mean, this is, if you've watched our videos, actually, you know, I had about 50 models to go, and I did an unboxing of this guy, the Mars Attacks robot, yeah. And go, oh my god, this is amazing. And what was really amazing about it, it was a start to finish project, yeah, that wasn't the Dark Elder, because I'd kind of hit saturation point on painting Dark Elder. I got to that point a little bit with Space Marines, where if you've seen the video showcasing the Space Marines, you know I've got a lot of Space Marines, whoop-de-doo for me, but it kind of means I get kind of bored painting Space Marines, you know, and then I went from that to finishing off our Orc army, doing our Salamander army, and now I'm working on the Dark Elder as well. These big, because of the sheer level of army that you field in Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer, classic Warhammer, it kind of is off-putting because you go, I don't think I can commit the time, and the cost is something, but the time as well to just keep, you know, you put together a colour scheme, you think it's really cool, and then by the time you've painted your once you're at around about 100, yeah, models, you start to go, oh, I'm really starting to regret this. And if, you know, a couple of my armies are at the 200 level, you know, orcs are cheap in inverted commas, you know, points wise, so you can field a lot of them. Space Marines, I just seem to, we've got a convention in about 2 weeks' time. Convention in 2 weeks' time. I will probably pick up some Space Marines, but I think I will also be on the lookout for a couple of people rage quitting Warhammer as well, and try and pick up some, maybe a couple of units, because it sounds, from everything I've found, the Age of Sigmar sounds like you can just basically mix and match your armies however you want, as long as they're roughly chaos or roughly order. And that sounds good. I kind of like the idea of mixing up a couple of units, which means I can field these guys with maybe, you know, if I find a few rifle guys or something, I could get the basics of a little bit of an army, and actually play that once in a while. I actually am interested to see how Age of Sigmar plays. There's been a lot of interest at local games club, so we'll see. So this was me with my half unboxing. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of our other videos. Catch you later. Bye.